Yes. Good. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go in the next to the next slide. Yeah, slide. Is it next slide? Can you see? No. Good. Yeah. Yeah, welcome everyone. We'll just give a couple of more minutes for people to join us. In the meanwhile, feel free to get some drinks, snacks, and also check in the QR code here to check in. Also, get your computer or phone ready because today we are going to have a lot of hands-on activities. And I also encourage you to sit right next to each other because we are going to have small group discussions basically. So find a peer, find your neighbors. And this is a hybrid event. So a lot of more people are actually calling virtually. So we are going to try to conduct the workshop, really have the in-person audience and also online audience. Yeah, I already saw some of you started to talk to each other. This is exactly what I want you to do in this waiting time. And for those people who are online, feel free also type in the chat box, briefly introduce yourself. This is a great opportunity for us to get to know each other, get to know your peers. Yeah, great to see more people are coming. We'll just give like 2 more minutes. We'll get started.
No, I was more on the college side. I was studying at B. I was used to studying migraine headaches and how the red cells. Kind of related indirectly, but which
The kind of invite you can update, not to show the in-person meeting address, but put the full name of the in case they can join this one. Yeah. Okay. But why? Hi, Kyle. Why is over there? It's.
I don't work on that, but.
I started getting since 2006, they've been doing.
Yeah. Maybe just show kind of the front page of it, and then if that is the another version, that's okay. Do the previous.
They don't have these sounds like a computer recorder.
Yeah, that's this way.
Okay, I guess we'll get started. Sorry to interrupt everyone. We'll have more time to talk to each other later on. Welcome everybody to today's career workshop. I'm very excited today because today is actually my birthday. Yeah, thank you. And also we are kicking off our foundational workshop series. And today we have so many of you sitting in the room. We also have a lot of people joining online. And this is our first session, Envision Possibilities inside and outside academia for PhD and Postdoc. This foundational workshop series is brought to you from the Center for Career Engagement in collaboration with the Graduate Center and also DBBS. I am May. I'm the Associate Director leading the PhD and Postdoc career community at the Center for Career Engagement. My colleague, Kyle, Assistant Director, is also here. And Shonda from DBBS is here. We're here to support you. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, I want everybody to be ready, start to work with us and engage with us. I want you to check in using this QR code if you didn't get a chance to do that yet. This way, we'll follow up with you to send you the slide deck. We'll have a lot of information with a lot of web links today. So I want to make sure you are able to receive the slide deck afterwards for your reference. And also encourage you to engage with us throughout the workshop. And by staying engaged, you already get the benefit. You are going to learn most. But to make it a little bit more fun, we prepared a prize for you. We are going to select one winner from the in-person audience here. And the gift we prepare for you is called Level Up Your PhD. Let me get a physical copy here. This is designed by some professional who worked in the field in the last 20 years to support PhD and postdoc for their career and professional development. It has many cards covering many different topics that are important for you. And you're going to spend maybe 10 minutes each time to learn some of the essentials on those topics. It's designed for busy students like you so that when you're waiting for the bus to come or you're waiting for your experiment to finish, you can use those small times to to continue to grow. I wish I had that when I was a PhD student. That's why I really recommend this to you. And you are welcome to buy that online. It's about $30. And today we're going to offer one prize for one of the participants here. And later down the road, we'll have more awards for you. And I would like to start with the learning outcomes. I think many of you, we always start with our goal in mind, right? And for today's workshop, I want you to recognize the importance of Envision career possibilities. And also, you know the methods and tools to help you envision possibilities. And then the third is really identify at least three concrete steps or actions that you can work on after today's workshop so that you can continue to grow in this journey. So with that, this is our agenda. We'll have some icebreaker activities and then talk about why and how, and then discuss some of the next steps and also have a Q&A in the end. So now we're going to spend about 5 minutes. I want each one of you work in pairs. Find somebody who sits next to you and introduce yourself. If you have already done that, you can skip that part. But if you didn't get a chance to do that yet, tell who you are, what is your program, where are you from, some fun fact about you, and then we can discuss some of our experience. Here are some of the questions I want you to discuss. Can you share someone you know who has never changed their job throughout their career, and what does that person do? How does he like it? Or can you think of someone who has intentionally switched jobs the most frequently? And what is that story about? And what is your dream job? Has that changed over time? Okay, now I'll give you 5 minutes. Please start to talk to your neighbors. And I will call us up again after 5 minutes.
I come here to break down. Yeah. It's a good chance that you have some of the guys that we asking I'll knock that out.
We'll wrap up in 1 minute. Okay. Okay, thanks everybody for your participation. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm glad to see you all start to get into the conversation. I think that's exactly what I want. I encourage you to attend this type of workshop, not only to learn those topics, but also really to practice how you show up professionally, how you communicate with others, how you articulate your ideas. That's why I really encourage this type of participation, and let us continue to do that throughout the presentation. And I hope by this discussion, you get to know each other a little bit more, and you also appreciate that people change, people are different. Some people probably like to have their job throughout their career without change. Some other people may change more frequently. So everyone has a unique story. And today we are going to talk a lot of things. If you forget the rest of the presentation, I do hope you remember this slide and this message. That is, each one of us has a unique story, and there are a lot of possibilities. So, like myself, when I was born in China in a very small village. I never thought that I'm going to come to the United States. And I was trained as a PhD scientist in plant science. I never thought that I'm going to become a career coach. So life is just full of possibilities. And now standing here, when I see my future, there are a lot of open paths. And I hope you see the same with your PhD training, with the skills you gained. There are just a lot of possibilities. Again, everybody has a unique path, and life is full of possibilities. That's the message I want you to have from today's workshop. And now we're going to talk about why we need to envision career possibilities. Again, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. Find a label that different than you talked to last time and start to share why we need to think about career possibilities, why we need to envision. And later, I'm going to have 3 volunteers to share your answer. Okay, back to conversation, please. Okay, 3 minutes is up. Love to see the discussion here. Any volunteers here who is willing to share what are some of your findings? Why we need to envision career possibilities? Be brave. Go ahead. If you could say briefly your name, your program, and speak up a little bit because we have a lot of online audience.
Well, based on what we discussed, Envision trying to understand the possibilities out there and helps you prepare for all these possibilities, grab the skill sets that will be required maybe in the near future to just walk into any of those facilities.
Nice. Who else? Be prepared. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Prashant. I'm a fifth year CSP student in Department of Genetics. So we were just discussing like how the vision changes as you go through multiple careers.
Yeah.
So like as grad students, we are like, oh yeah, academia could be the path, or maybe industry could be the path. So we basically see a binary option.
Yeah.
And it looks like most of the postdocs in our bench also kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can always switch. So there's no right or wrong answer in it.
Yeah, explore new possibilities. Go ahead.
Maybe third year, that's different rabbits and data science. I'm probably like one of the strangest career path here. So I was trained as a medical doctor back home, and then I moved here. I wanted to be a surgeon, so I did some research, and then I had some health consequences. So I ended up doing becoming a statistician, and then I wanted to change jobs, apply for jobs, didn't get at the jobs. So somebody said, "Why didn't you do a PhD?" And I ended up so a lot of changes that so the thing that they learned is that I'll never make a plan. I'll just go with the flow. None of my plans worked out.
Yeah, not everything will work as we planned. Yeah, and then be more proactive and kind of be envision possibilities so that you can make more informed decisions, I think. So thank you for your sharing. I think you touched many of the points I'm going to share here. Just to bring everybody on the same page, I'm going to go through this reason very quickly. As many of you said, many of you PhD and postdoc, when they come to their field, they want to become a faculty. But the reality is that only 20% of our PhD and postdoc will succeed in securing a tenure track faculty. That is just our statistics, our data. And of course, this is different based on the field. It really ranges from 10 to 50%. But that tells us no matter whether you want or not, we have to envision possibilities outside academia. And this is especially true. I think somebody also mentioned that in today's environment with the funding cuts and everything, we just need to envision new possibilities. And also, many of the students, they are open to many different possibilities. They are okay to become a faculty or okay to become have other jobs. That also tells us they don't know exactly what they want to do. And according to some survey, 55% of the students report they are uncertain about their future direction. That's why we need to envision possibilities so that you can find your own career path. And the third reason is sometimes imperfect match happens. I think like what you mentioned, more than 50% of the PhD students said their first job is not their desired job. And sometimes they do a postdoc as a temporary job as well. And many people need to do a few transitioning jobs in order to get their desired job. So that's why it's important to envision the different possibility so that you can get your desired job as soon as possible. And also look from a positive side here, exploring different career possibilities really help you to identify new potentials. You may think, okay, with my training, I may be able to do this type of job or that type of job. And this is very important for maybe early stage students where you really haven't set a goal yet. By envision possibilities, it can help you to set a better goal that matches with your interest and your skills. And for later stage students, you may already, in the job market, by envisioning possibilities, it may help you to be able to say, okay, I'm able to apply this type of job. I'm also able to apply that type of job. So again, opening new ideas, and hopefully you will have you have a clear sense of direction and purpose and make informed decisions, and you will become more motivated and more resilient in the complicated job search process. So that's why it's really important for us to envision possibilities. And we all recognize the importance of envision possibilities, but how? How to really identify the different possibilities out there that are suitable for us. Again, I want us to pair and discuss how to envision. What are your methods? What are your recommendations? And we'll have 3 minutes, and again, we'll come back to have some volunteers to share. Later, I'm going to share some of the methods I'm going to recommend to you, and not us to see how much overlap there are. Okay, 3 minutes for you.
So like my consensus is like Envision tries to think about it. I don't know if you really look at it. So again, we're trying to do this like so we're not gonna do this. This wasn't it experience. Oh yeah, how to get from point A to point B, what was the experience? Where did we things like I think that should be sufficient in a paper in a sense. If we were to
if you try to like say not everybody, if I hear about section, I was saying, wait, I'm saying that's the way everything said that's like learn a little bit what we were in actually. Then we were in the experience to I think that's like that. I think that's like not like this where we go and spread out everything and it's just trying to everybody say I feel quite wrong. Yeah, what then I'm like to like fail. There's
Okay, 3 minutes is very short, so let us get back to the big group. Any volunteers want to share how you envision possibilities? Go ahead. Again, tell your name, your program, and then share your answer.
I think the general consensus of our group was like to communicate, and so I know for me personally, like this time last year, I was barely working on my personal statement because I wasn't even really sure I wanted to do a PhD. And like here I am, but through that process, I just talked to a lot of people, got a lot of feedback, evaluated my own interests and passions, and I was able to navigate and be like, hey, this is the path that is not only the best for me, but that will get me even further to what I really want in the future.
Excellent.
So yeah, just networking and talking to a variety of different people who may have the same interests and may not.
Yeah, network with like-minded person. Yeah. Who else? Don't wait. We don't have that much time. Yeah, just share your thoughts. This is a safe group. I love that. Talk to ChatGPT. Yes, that's true. Who else? Excellent. Again, this is part of network. Okay. Thank you all for sharing. So now I'm going to share some of the approaches our team recommends to you. Some of them are overlapping, but there's a lot of new materials as well. So those are some of the methods we recommend to you. Leverage your networking. I think we mentioned that. Leverage online resources. understand yourself a little bit more, to really understand what you want to pursue in your life, and then have the actual experience and do experiment. So I'm going to use the next about 30 to 40-ish minutes to talk about that. Again, we have a lot of hands-on activity throughout the process. So learn from your network. We mentioned that networking is a very effective strategy, and there could be many people you can talk to. Not only your advisors, your lab managers, but could also be other mentors. Maybe it's a faculty in your department. Maybe it's somebody you met in the conference. Coaches, your career coaches, or other life coaches. Employers, again, could be somebody you met in a conference or in a networking event. Alumni, maybe somebody who graduated from your lab, who graduated from your program, or maybe somebody you reached through LinkedIn, WashU alumni LinkedIn page. Your peers, somebody in your department or outside of your department, through your family and friends, ask referrals. So really don't limit yourself. Think about who you can leverage to maybe set up a information interview. We can also call it like maybe coffee chat or one-on-one meetings, and really use that time to get to know that person, hear that person's story and career journey. Usually people are very willing to share their stories, and also use that opportunity to learn what that job is about. What are the day-to-day responsibilities? What are the required skills? What are the growth potential? Can I shadow them to learn more? And if that's a career path you are interested in, meet them regularly, have follow-up, ask them to refer to you somebody else you can talk to. And if you think that is something you are not interested to pursue further, that is great to know. So you can exclude some possibility so that you can focus on the things you want to do. So really leverage this network. And I want to introduce this method first because I know many of you are very good at research. You can do online research. But sometimes I really want to encourage you to become a little more human, to have more people interactions. Because again, the purpose is not only to envision possibilities, it's to help you to practice your communication skills, your relationship building skills, your networking skills. So really have multiple benefits here. That's why I want to really introduce this technique first. And now I want you to really work by yourself. Maybe write down on your computer or on your phone on a piece of paper the names of 3 or more people you can talk to in order for you to envision career possibilities. It could be someone whose research is very close to what you are doing right now, or it could be someone, is very differently than what you envisioned. Again, this is an opportunity to explore, to envision possibilities. So 3 names. I'm going to give you about 3 to 5 minutes here. And those persons are the ones who you want to reach out in the next few days, to set a meeting in the next few weeks. Those are the person who you really want to spend like 30 minutes to 60 minutes to have a conversation. I want you to be able to write down 3 names. And again, think about the broader network you have here.
Yeah, which we're glad that they would, yeah, what I mean. It's not a problem. Which one? I know you meant. Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's scared. Yeah. I know we met. Yeah, I was. She that. I think you can ask anything else. I started. these people have a different thing. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, thanks. It's really fun episode. We have like innovative output of a lot of things. And I was also part of the student organization. Thanks. We organize.
Okay, so back to the big group, and I hope everybody get a chance to think through their network and identify some people you want to reach out to. And you can continue to do this exercise after the workshop. And it's really important to be intentional. We all recognize the importance of networking for your career development, for your job search process, and you want to do that as early as possible, so that later when you are in the job market, it is natural for you to connect with them again, to ask help. So really, you use this opportunity to build relationship, to expand your network, and to learn, to envision possibilities. And so the action item for you is really, reach out to those people after today's workshop and set up 3 meetings before our next workshop. You have about 1 month to do. And for some people who are in the job market, you may want to do it more frequently. I usually get to know at least one new person every week. That is the goal that I set for myself. So I encourage you to do that as well. So now we're going to talk about another technique, leverage online resources. We are going to introduce some tools here. One is a labor market insights. This is a tool purchased by WashU, so you can access for free. And later we are going to do some demo. Basically, you put some keywords about your major or field of study. It will output many useful information, such as what are some of the core tasks related to this job? What are some of the employment trends? What are the top employers? What is the salary look like? What are some of the technical skills it requires? What are some of the core competencies it requires? What are some of the job titles you can apply to? So very helpful for us to envision the different type of jobs we can do. Another 2 tools I'm going to introduce here is Imagine PhD. This is a career exploration tool designed for PhD that are specifically in the humanity and social science fields, but is actually applicable to PhD in any backgrounds. It has some free assessment to help you understand your value, your skills, your interest. And similarly, we have the My IDP Science Careers. I think many of the students who came to see me in one-to-one coaching appointment, they have used some of those tools. So very helpful. Again, later we are going to give you a demo. And the third one is utilizing ChatGPT. It is really a powerful tool to help you brainstorm. You just let ChatGPT know who you are, what you want, and what you want it to do. For example, I can say, I am a PhD in WashU plants with a degree in plant science, expected to graduate in 2 years. I want to know what type of jobs I can apply after graduation and what are the top hiring managers. List the options in a table in a concise way. And the information it give you is really amazing. It matches with my 10 years work experience and observations. So highly recommend you as a brainstorming tool. And now, before I hand over to Kyle, who is going to help us to do the demo, here is just some basic information. You talk about the different career pathway you can pursue. It can really go beyond become a faculty. You can explore many different things. Similarly, with my IDP science careers, you can be more than a principal investigator in a research institutions. There are so many, more than 20 different pathways you can explore. And even if you want to stay in academia, you can be somebody else outside of being a PI. You can become a research staff scientist, or you have a more teaching-oriented careers, or you can become a staff member like me and Kyle. There are just so many different possibilities. So now I'm going to transition to Kyle, who is going to give us some demo. And if you brought your computer, you can walk through the process with us.
All right. So I'm going to risk sharing a different part of my screen, and we'll see if this works for everyone on here and in the chat as well. Okay. All right, great. That look good over there too?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So I'll go through these kind of one by one here. My IDP, this is one that's oriented very much towards science careers, but I actually personally got some interesting kind of results out of this one too when I went through it. And all of these platforms, you're probably going to have to create a login for them, but they're either free or you have access through your WashU accounts. So you don't need to pay for any of these kinds of platforms. You don't need to put up any money for them. What's really fun about this one is that it has these different assessments over here. So it's got a skills assessment, an interest assessment, and a values assessment. And so when you first come on here, it's going to prompt you to take these. Oh, and it wants me to log in again. It's going to prompt you to take these different assessments, and you go through and it'll save your answers. So you can go back and revisit sometime and see if things have changed. But it's going to ask about your scientific skills. Now, I'm a humanities PhD, so I have none. That was what made this one a little funny for me. And then it'll summarize them for you. It's going to have you do interests. And this one, again, very oriented towards science. So I'm not doing a whole lot of experiments, but there were some other things in there that I thought were kind of fun. And then finally, values. And the values one is definitely very useful across any sort of background. And once you've done this, all of these, it's going to provide you with a table of suggestions for the kinds of jobs that it thinks based off of your values, your skills, and your interests that you might be good for. Now, apparently, I might be a good match for drug device approval and production. That is not something I've ever heard of myself. It's not something someone brought up to me, but I'm kind of curious now. Like, okay, like even with my humanities background, could I go for this? And then you can read about careers. And so this one will actually provide you with links to where you can look at this and you can say, read more. Okay, what does this involve? And it's got articles on the career track, the general kinds of careers. It recommended a couple of like book chapters, and it gave me professional societies where I can learn more. So a really cool way to generate some possibilities and give you the initial tools to be investigating some of them a little bit more. Now with ChatGPT, There's going to be a slightly kind of broader niche that we put in here, but like May said, we can type in information about ourselves and it's going to generate good opportunities for us. So, um, for example, what can I do with a PhD in mechanical engineering and 5 years of graduate research experience? And even just something as simple as this will pull us up a pretty, decent starting list of options and opportunities. It's going to break it down into different fields, right? So we've got industry R&D, advanced engineering roles. Obviously, academia is pretty, common. National labs or government research, engineering management, high-tech startups, data science, intellectual property, consulting, teaching focused, and even some bonus paths. And within each of these, they even have like some specific roles, specific titles that you can look up and check out yourself. So we could take, one of these roles, like data scientist, for example, and we could go plug it into the labor market insights that May was talking about. We could see what exactly the labor market is like for that. So let's go to our Center for Career Engagement, our resources, and let's explore our job market trends. And let's say data science. Data scientist. And awesome. We've got our core tasks. We've got our employment trends. Oh, that's a pretty good growth rate. If anyone wants to switch into data science, if you're not doing it already, plus 28%. Top employers that we can look up. Education levels. We see that doctoral degree is very popular for this one. Our annual earnings, technical skills and core competencies, and job titles, specific job titles that we might be able to go and look at. So we see the process a little bit here, right? How we might start generating ideas, getting some more possibilities in practical forms. I'll show you these other websites real quick. So Imagine PhD, this is what's going to look like when you start. Imagine PhD also has assessments. It also provides interest, skills, and values assessments. These won't necessarily come with recommendations for jobs, but they can be useful for reflection purposes. And then there are job family resources where you can look at these different areas of work and try to and learn more about, like, again, what specific jobs are there within them, what kinds of professional organizations can you go to. So I'm going to click on organizational management, and it's got all of them will have this same basic setup. You can explore and learn about the careers, resources for connecting and networking, how to build skills, and where to apply. So really cool website here for this. Versatile PhD. Yeah, we can skip on.
Yeah.
Okay. Versatile PhD, similar. Let you guys explore that. Last one we'll talk about is intersect job simulations. So these are actually curated activities that can help you learn if you would like a specific job in science or humanities. Now, it's not comprehensive because people have to put these together and that can take time. But if they have one up here, for example, communications, public relations, it has a few tasks that you might participate in. You might try building a campaign, preparing a creative brief, or visualizing data for an annual report. These tasks are meant to give you a chance to actually try out the job, experiment with it and see if it's the sort of job that you would enjoy on a day-to-day kind of basis. Again, these are not, this is not exhaustive, but if you find on this list a job that you're interested in, this is a really fantastic way to get started on that researching side of things. So that's what those websites kind of look like, how you might go about navigating some of them. So we'll switch back over to the presentation here.
Yes, thanks, Kyle. I hope you can at least bookmark some of the websites, and later again, we're going to share the slide deck so that you can reference it more, and really encourage you to spend a little bit of time to explore some of the tools here, help you to envision different possibilities. We don't have time to do it at the workshop, but highly encourage you to continue to pursue it afterwards. Now I'm going to introduce the third technique here. Really understand more about yourself. And this is super important because, as you can imagine, there are many different possibilities, but how could we find the one that works for me? And for that, you really need to understand your personal values, your passion, and your skills. We recommend some tools. For example, imagine PhD, MyIDP Science Careers. They have this type of assessment. And for most people, hopefully, using those two tools, you already have a good understand about yourself. But for some other people, you may need a little bit more tools. And I'm going to introduce you a few more tools. And I personally utilized all of them. And I think it is really, really helpful for me to understand myself more. And we are human, we are complicated person, and dependent on our age, our career journey, we may want different things. Things are very dynamic, things change. So sometimes you need those different type of tools to help you to understand yourself better. One of the tool I'm going to recommend is called Career Drivers Questionnaire. It is listed in our website, and it only have about 36 questions, takes you about 20 minutes to finish, but it helps you to understand what are your career drivers, what drives you. And I have done this exercise multiple times, and I can see the change. Nowadays, when I do it, I found, for example, meaning is my top career driver. And knowing that helps me to make career choices, to envision new possibilities. And the second tool here is developed by Stanford. It's called Meaningful Work Kit. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes for you to work on it. Again, it helps you to identify your value, your passion, your skills, and help you envision what type of work you really enjoy doing. And the third one is called Ikigai. So for career questionnaire and meaningful work kit, I know it's free. I did it recently. For Ikigai test, it takes longer time. It may not be free at this point, but it's a very comprehensive tool. Even if you need to pay, I think it's very affordable. Basically, let me see whether I can get rid of this bar. Is it? Yeah, is there a way to get rid of the bar here? I was just doing this for now. Basically, it helps you identify the overlap among what you really love, what you are good at, what you want to get paid for, and what the world needs. It's a very comprehensive assessment tool. So if you really need it, this is the tool you can use. But in addition to those tools, sometimes it's very effective and it's very simple. If you can get some feedback from the person who know you very well, you can collect feedback from your family members, your mentors, your colleagues. For example, my husband once told me, May, I noticed you are very good at making connections, especially first connections. And I didn't realize that. I was trained as a scientist. I know I'm good at doing research, good at critical thinking. But knowing that comment helped me to envision new possibilities. So I transitioned from a bench scientist to more work related to client management. And now I'm doing student support. So really created new opportunities for me. So I encourage you to do the same. Ask your beloved ones to really help yourself to understand more about yourself, and also have more self-reflections, to have more self-awareness. What do I really enjoy doing? What I'm truly passionate about? So spend some time to ask yourself. I have this habit to have quiet time once every while for myself, or have the habit to write a diary. And I will ask this type of question to myself. And that really helped me to envision new possibilities, to identify the career pathways that works for me. So I encourage you to do that. And before we do some self-reflection, I also want to introduce you Clifton Strengths Finder. How many of you heard about this tool? Okay, very few of you. That's great. This is very common in the workplace. I have done that when I worked in industry. It helps you to identify your top five strengths. So this way you know how to better leverage your strengths in your workplace and how to work with others in the workplace. It's not for free for sure, but here is the good news. As I mentioned, we have a workshop series. We encourage you to participate as many workshops as possible, and the top 10 most engaged one will offer a free Clifton Strengths Assessment and training. We'll have our budget to cover that for you. So you don't have to pay by yourself. And the engagement is really measured throughout the process, right? You register for the event, you check in for the event, you participate in the discussion, you answer questions, and you can also share some of your progress or your assessment results with us after the workshop. So continue to really engage with us and work with us. We really want to help those who want to get helped. So that's the news for you. And now I'm going to transition to Kyle again to help us to do some reflection activities here to understand more about ourselves so that we can envision new possibilities.
So we want you to think about what you receive praise for the most often. So think about like what is it what are the skills or activities or things that folks whether it's your peers, your family, your supervisors will praise you for. We also want you to think about what matters most to you when making a career choice or choosing a job. What's the first thing that you think about? Is it, what you'll do in the job? Is it how much money you'll make? Is it where you'll be? Those kinds of things. And finally, passion. What kind of things would you do even if you weren't getting paid for it? Make sense? All right, go ahead. I'll give you 5 minutes on this one. Okay.
It doesn't.
Yeah, and here the goal is really, don't restrict yourself. This is being open, envision new possibilities. Don't think that, okay, I have to become a faculty or I have to become a scientist in industry. This is really open new possibilities. And after you do this exercise, if you still think you want to pursue faculty, that's great, pursue it. And if it has changed, then you have new possibilities and you have a new goal to set up. And I have to tell you that many people make this transition when they are 40 years old or 50 years old. So I want you to start to think about it as early as possible so that you can really work on the things you are truly passionate about and you have more time in your life to work on the things you love. Okay. I saw some people stop, so maybe you have already done that reflection. So we'll come back as a group. Now, I'm going to talk about the last technique here is really gain some experience, do some experiment. As Kyle mentioned, we have the intersect job simulations. You can really leverage that to help you to determine whether you like it or not. And some other approaches here is really do an internship or have some part-time freelancer projects. For our PhDs, I highly encourage you to consider an internship. When I was a PhD student in WashU, I managed to do an internship, which is super helpful. So I know we have this type of policy. So encourage you to pursue that. And to get an internship, like for example, WashU, we have a Pivot 314 program. We also have the Scandaris internship program. So pay attention to those opportunities. We usually compile them in our newsletters as well when they receive applications. You can also use platforms like LinkedIn Jobs or Handshake to look for those internship or part-time opportunities. You can also go to your targeted companies to look for internship opportunities, or through your network, sometimes you can gain internship opportunities as well. For freelancer job opportunities, I recommend Upwork and Collabtree. I've personally used those in my career and found it really helpful. And for postdoc, maybe because you are a full-time employee, you are not eligible for your internship, so you can consider this type of part-time job. And for international students, scholars, I really encourage you to work with OISS to ask about work authorization related questions. And in the end, you can also start a job and test whether you like it or not. And if you like it, that's great, pursue it. If not, it's never too late to change. You can always envision possibility again and find a career pathway that works for you. So this is really, you can really experiment, you can change. To kind of summarize here, again, we recommended you some techniques, but there are a lot more. You can see here, some of them are smaller investment, more intellectual learning. Others toward the bottom, they are more larger term investment, more experiential learning. We talked about doing some online research, podcast, social media, job posting, industry news. Those are all great ways for you to envision possibilities we didn't talk about, but you can also leverage those. CCE career communities, the PhD and postdoc career community, our events, tracks, which is basically employer visits. We are going to organize more starting next year, so stay tuned. Career Expo, which we just had last week, information interviews, networking, shadowing, we talked about all those, project work, volunteer positions, go to your professional society, get involved. Not only just go to the conference, give a wallow or poster presentation, but start to volunteer, maybe participate in the conference organizing committee, get more involved. This way you will discover new opportunities as well. Internship, freelancer job. So the key is really follow your curiosity, follow your passion, and then customize your exploration. There's just so many different ways you can do that. So next step, this is one of our goals here. I hope everybody can come up with at least 3 steps that you can take to envision possibilities. in the next 1 month before we meet up again. I'll give you a few minutes here also to think through what are the 3 things you want to focus on in the next 1 month to envision possibilities. And those are your action items after our today's workshop. And the goal here is for you to identify a better or a clear career path that is suitable for you, that you want to pursue in the next few years. I know probably after today's workshop, you won't have time to think about it. So I want you to work on it now. And if you have questions, you can raise your hand and I can come to answer. When you identify a career path, it could mean different things dependent on your year of study, depending on your career stage. For some people, maybe your goal is to say whether you want to choose between academia or industry. For some other people, maybe you want to narrow it down. Okay, I want to pursue communication specialist in company A. It could be as detailed as that. So really dependent on your need. But I want you to be able to envision different scenarios, different possibilities here. Okay. Anybody wants to share some of your steps? Okay, yes, please.
I guess this next step is looking up summer internships. Since I'm in first year, this next summer is like height for me to be here. So use the opportunity where I have time. The next is to look at different careers that I like, and I'm in the process of doing recertifications right now, so I'm not in a specific lab yet. But to but to think about not only what lab environment do I like, but what research would allow me to gain the skills that I see using in my future career.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third is to get involved in things that I enjoy and would do without getting paid.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing. Who else? Go ahead.
Some things I did kind of
Mm-hmm.
to one of the I identified as being a connection to talk about these things with.
Excellent. Yeah. Again, if you don't do anything after today's workshop, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to grow that much. So attending workshop is important, but the action items after workshop is even more important. So I really encourage you to continue to think, what are the at least three things you can work on after today's workshop? And maybe you can set up a goal. You want to finish it before the next workshop. As we talk about later, we're going to continue to grow in this career development process. So here, you probably, once you envision different possibilities, you may have a few different possibilities. And then the question is how to narrow down, how to identify the one that you really want to pursue. So I'm going to introduce you this tool, this method is called to develop a decision matrix. For example, you may have different options here in academia, industry, R&D, or consulting. And then you will list all of the criteria that are important for you to make a career decision. Maybe some of you may think, okay, intellectual challenge and learning is very important for you. Work-life balance is important for you. Compensation and others. So you will list all of the factors here that are important for you. And for them, they may have different weight, and then you assign a different weight. For example, intellectual challenge and learning, I think is very important for many PhD and postdoc. You may assign a higher weight here, and then you give a score to each of those options on each of those criteria, and then you have a weighted calculation. Using this method can help you understand which career pathway may be more suitable for you. And this is the data I actually put to my younger self when I was a PhD student. This is how I'm going to put those data, and this is my result. And that's how I actually went to pursue industry. And I'm going to share a real example. This is an analysis I did before I came to this role. Many of you know I worked in a startup before I took this role. So that's my option one. And for my option two, I really think about to do student support in WashU, and this is very specific. I haven't thought about which type of position, but this is the general direction. And then I'm also very interested to become a managing partner in a venture capital. I'm just interested in it. So that's one of my options as well. So I listed all of the factors that are important for me to consider. And you can see it changes over time. For example, meaning, impact, alignment with my personal values was important for me, but the weight was low when I was a PhD student. And nowadays, this becomes very important for me. So I put a much higher weight. And again, some other things also change. Those are all the factors I consider. And by doing this weighted calculation, here, this option B really stands out. And that's how I made this career transition. That's how I intentionally applied some job opportunities in WashU to support students. That's how I came here. So I hope use my example to help you to think through your process to identify a career pathway that works for you. So the takeaway from today's workshop, I hope you can see, life is really full of possibilities. Again, with your PhD training, with many of the skills you gained in your PhD, there are just so many things you can do. And you need to drive that process. So be proactive in this process. And also utilize GPS, just like when we drive a car, we need GPS. And here, the different resource tools are the GPS for you, and your heart, right? Your value, your passion are the GPS for you in this journey. And also start to drive today. It's never too early or too late. Begin today to drive this process and be open and flexible. Just like when we drive in the highway, we may enter the wrong exit. Life happens, right? Sometimes there are new opportunities. So be open to embrace those new opportunities. Sometimes things doesn't go as we planned. Be open. Every journey matters. Every mile counts. So really utilize all those opportunities. Be open for it, and you create your unique path. And then you also have many new opportunities. And enjoying this process, again, you have a unique path. There are many opportunities for you. So with that, I think we'll just pause here to answer any questions. And for those who haven't checked in yet, please scan this QR code to check in so that we can follow up with you with the slide deck. And now we'll have about 10 minutes for Q&A if you have any questions. Now is the time to ask, and we'll try our best to answer. Yeah, again, say your name, your major, and your question. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Prashant. I'm with the CSP.
Mhm.
I just have a general question. So, do you think it would be helpful to have a PhD and postdoc only career fair, or like career network, not career fair, because it's really hard to place one PhD from the other. So maybe like it could be more industry oriented. So you could call, I don't know, Eli Lilly, any big pharma companies, vaccine development companies. You could call VCs, you could call startups. Just as an on-campus networking event, which should be helpful for exposure in terms of like, because most of PhDs are trying to figure out what they like.
Mhm.
So maybe having them like twice a year would be helpful, just to get a sense of like what the industry companies or startups are looking for, like in terms of skill set or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think like just having a general interaction with them would be helpful. If you're already in a sixth year or maybe like in your final years, it would also be a good opportunity to just talk about job prospects,
Mhm.
or maybe an internship, or maybe like an industry postdoc or whatnot.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. That would be the ideal world. That's our goal, to have PhD and postdoc specific career fair. But as you can imagine, it takes a lot of efforts. Right now, we're not able to offer that with our small team. We do have a big employee engagement team. We do have a career expo, but it's open for all students, including undergraduate, master, and PhD and postdoc. Again, that's the goal we are hoping to achieve in future. But in the meantime, we do have some resources for you. One is we have employer info session. Sometimes we include those opportunities in our newsletter. So basically, employers will come into WashU site. You have an opportunity to talk to them. They are going to introduce about their company, their opportunities, and some of the opportunities are open to PhD and postdoc. So we'll only promote those opportunities that are relevant for you. So pay attention to our newsletter. Second, we have track, which are employer site visits. I think in the past 2 issues, we post some track opportunities which are happening in Boston, some other areas. Maybe some of the participants here actually get selected to go. And those are great opportunities. Usually, the travel expense are covered in by CCE. So wonderful opportunity. Again, pay attention to those opportunities. And next spring, we are going to organize a local track. We are going to visit some employers who are interested to hire PhD and postdoc. So those are some of the opportunities we offer right now, but we'll work toward to create PhD and postdoc specific career expo. Kyle, would you like to add anything?
No.
Yeah, I also want to just add one more thing. Kyle is actually organizing a career exploration speaker series. We'll invite people from different fields to come to talk to our students. It's a virtual meeting. Some of them are, science communication related, science policy related, research related. We were trying to cover different topics. Again, it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about that career pathway. Great opportunity for you to network with that speaker. Great opportunity for you to get to know your peers more. Yeah. Thank you for the question, though. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I'm Maya, second year PhD in science, and I have been debating about planning to internship this summer. I probably want to do a research internship in industry, but I'm nervous that maybe I don't have an extensive enough research history yet or enough publications to actually be qualified for those positions. So I was wondering if you recommend to still try to apply and see what I get, or I should just wait another year until I have the history research.
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I encourage you to apply. You know, many companies, they hire undergraduate for internship. So early stage graduate students, they are eligible. They are, they are competitive. You don't have to wait until you are in your fourth year or fifth year. But then it comes into how we can package our resume so that it stands out. And I encourage you to book a one-to-one coaching appointment, and we can help you to tailor your resume. And if you didn't get it in your second year, try it again in your third year, fourth year. You have more time or more opportunities to try. And you can even do different internship, right? One internship every year, if that's possible. Work with your academic advisor, work with your PI to manage that. Again, you drive your career. Be proactive in that process.
It's always better to apply for things. Even if you're not sure about it, it's better to give it a shot.
And by applying, you learn so much. Just by reading those job posts, you learn so much. You know what is expected. You have a clear goal, and then you can develop a plan to achieve it. Any other questions? Don't be shy. One more question. I need one more volunteer. Okay, sounds like you get it all covered, so that's great. I'm just going to make some very quick announcement. As we mentioned, we have more events to come in the next few months. We highly encourage you to stay engaged with us. We are really here, a small but mighty team. We are trying our wholeheartedly to serve you, our PhD and postdoc. So continue to work with us. Pay attention to our newsletter. Read it every time. We currently have a survey. So I encourage you to fill that out. And we want to use your feedback to help us to design better newsletters to serve you. And you're encouraged also to book a one-to-one coaching appointment with us so that we can start get connect and provide customized support to you. Visit our CCE website. Again, there are tons of information for our workshop series. In October, we have 2 events for you. One is what you can do with a PhD is a career exploration speaker series. And you're going to talk to somebody who was a neuroscientist, but now works in science communication and others. And we also have this workshop from goals to growth. So now today's workshop is really help you to envision possibilities, identify a career goal. And this workshop is to say, once you have a goal, how to develop plans to fill that gap, to achieve your goal. So this is an immediate next step. So I hope you can get back and we can continue to grow in this process. So with that, I just want to thank you for your participation. Let us stay in touch, and we're happy to be here to support you. We'll be here for the next few minutes. So if you have any private question, feel free to ask me or Kyle. Thank you again for your participation. Have a great rest of the day. Feel free to grab more snacks and drinks over there. And thank you all for those online participants as well.
Yeah, I have said.
Thanks a lot for the advice on the resume.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, good. I'm glad.
started hearing back from a couple places, so it's
Good.
fairly quickly.
Good. That's really great to hear. I'm glad that it's going like that. That's
The second version that I sent you, I think, is